we were having a bit of debate between ourselves of like how everything's meant to work. What's the last big hero? DK came up in our conversations as well, but they decided to go with the Storm. Do you like it here? Do you think it's good against what NIP's got?
I just think that we can't forget about the 33 Night Stalker and that he's happy to go for these builds that people don't really expect. For example, the other game he went for a Blink Dagger, and I think again this is a game where he's going to really utilize the unconventional Blink Dagger purchase. He's going to be able to get onto the Storm Spirit, and he's just going to be able to kill him on repeat. And I think sure the Storm's good for picking off the Warlock, trying to prevent the Golem. But I just think that if this Night Stalker's given a good lane, maybe if they go aggro try, or just even a good solid dual lanes, I think this Storm could easily be punished.
Can you actually have a solid dual lane against this support harassment of Nature's Prophet? We've seen Liquid exploit this before. It's the early Blightstone. Like, is it double Stout Shield and 6 Tangos, which is what 33 is built for? Is that enough to negate the harassment?
Yes, because it's one of these lanes where Satsuko will be pulling creep waves and will just be trying to manipulate the lane so it's just not a simple lane creeps meet in the middle between the towers. There's going to be some creep and there's going to be something happening to make this Nature's feel like he's just torn between two places.
That's why he's Nature's Prophet. Once he gets level 2, he can go to 2 places.
That is very true.
It's just that global movement. And that's what I kind of like a bit about Forward. Like the fact they can move so far into the back lines to try and find that Warlock too. Like we saw Slark having to do it the hard way previously. CCNC with jump, you've got rolling bouldering, you've got teleportation. And if you do find that kill, you can get the Reaper Scythe down. Like that's guaranteed early advantage in the team fights. But we'll see how the laning phase goes. Team fights is a long way away from here.
Yes, I think the Zeus pick as well is really good just to be able to delay these pushes. You're going to be able to sit really far back, force the Storm to overcommit. And other than the roll and maybe the Nature's TP, but again, Nature's in these later fights, he doesn't provide a lot once he's in there, especially when he's on pos 5. So I think it's going to be really important that leaving the laning phase, if the Storm has a good game, they keep up the tempo and try and... I think that as long as they're not afraid of this Night Stalker and you can close him out, you have to be aggressive into the night. If you try and sit back during the night, then Nip are just going to have a very nice game of farming up and eventually just having the items to deal with Forward's draft.
I love this small little change of like obviously like getting the precision aura early on is nowhere near as effective as it used to be, but he went Cold Arrows level 1, so they got a lot of damage into 33. It forced the Salve to come over from Saxa. So the regeneration, they're already burning through it on the Night Stalker, trying to just at least push him a little bit harder out of the lane.
Oh, sure, that's just Drow and safe and should be able to do this, but I don't think 33 cares too much. Like, he's still sitting in the lane. He's a Night Stalker. Like, people describe him as, he's like the creep of daytime, right? But, so the fact he's even getting CS, he's got like 1 CS, he's got 3 denies, like he's got the 3 creeps in front of him here, like he's playing, he's happy as hell. He does not care. And look, see here, Satsu's now doing the thing, he's pulling the creep wave. It then means the Furion can't just sit there and click the Night Stalker. And this is one of the key things Nip do between this 4 and the 3. They're always doing something in the lane to make it different.
That's why I wonder how long Tiny can keep that up. Like he's losing his life out, the regeneration starts to burn through, and maybe I'm a little bit biased towards Drone Ranger. Like I'm always thinking that she's got a lot more damage than she really does.
But again, with the changes to her ult, I think it's not going to show too much this game, other than maybe on the Night Stalker, because these heroes naturally don't buy armor items. So it's still, the Pierce is still going to have the same like impact.
Yeah. Oh, Vortex in mid, CCNC, this is why he wants the hero. He feels confident with it, Fada. Fairy Fires and Stick Charges keep him alive.
He's bringing out Tangos on the courier. Hope he wishes now that was a salve, but...
Oh, that Fatal Bonds. It's good when you get into MSS. There's 33 into the trees. Cutting through, he'll be able to survive, but both the offlaner and the mid laner for NIP barely clinging to life.
And again, the Tiny's dragging another creep wave. It's all they're going to do. They're just going to non-stop rinse and repeat this. Meanwhile, like, the Troll's just going to be farming top. So, like, farming under tower, PP just going to pull. When it gets to the 10 minutes, the Warlock's going to get his book. So it's going to, like, compensate for him sitting back a bit and give him the solo XP. 33 is going to get exactly what he wants. Like, the entire start of this game is exactly what Nip, like, planned out. And it's how they want to play most games. I
always love this with Nature's Prophet. He's basically playing DHL right now. Like, coming down, delivering up anything to Yawar.
Yeah, and he's just going to wander on mid through the ward, place another ward.
Yeah, let me just complete up both of your Wraith bands.
Yeah.
Now we can move over.
Anything else I can help you with, sir?
Sure. Rotate over.
This is why it's sad when you pick this natures early, because if you are put into this position where they're doing this creep skipping, what do you really do on the map? If you TP top, you've got no kill potential really. You've got a Necro who's just kind of farming up. Like, he feels a little bit lost. If anything, he should just try and pull, maybe wait for the Zeus to step into the too high up and then maybe get the kill on him. But
MSS missed a really big rolling boulder. If he hit that on Ace, combining with the Death Pulse, I think they may have got at least very close to killing off Ace. He has 8 stick charges available. There's that early pressure they want to apply when it's 25 seconds until the first nighttime phase.
I'd like to see what 33 does with this Knight. Normally he will just like utilize the fact that he can just farm up the lane and he's like a scary, but like sometimes as well he can make the wrap onto mid, just leave the lane, look like don't show for like 20 seconds and then he just appears mid, like, especially with Storm not being 6 yet.
It's the kick onto Ace. TP support's coming in from the just Prophet, actually ends up cancelling it as Ace goes back underneath the tower and they change the TP position. They're looking for the 5-minute bounty runes as well. So PPD will back up, Pardai will trap him in, but there's an easy tango back out and they Fatal Bonds connect. MSS as well as snaking together with the extra support. Tiny just gonna toss in Ace. First blood was still spilled by Fada, so CC goes down while that was happening. That was in mid lane. And Snaking dies up on top.
And Fada didn't even have ult for that, so CC just playing a little bit too low and then just giving a solo kill. That's exactly what you don't want on this Storm Spirit. You need to have that good game where you get the 6 first, you get the jump on the Zeus and make the Zeus feel just upset.
So NIP gets kills in both the lanes at the start of nighttime phase that 33 is not involved in. Like that's a scary thing for forward.
Nip just understands Night Stalker really well. Like, it's nighttime, the enemy team's like, whoa, we should be scared of Night Stalker. But 33's like, okay, just sit in my lane. I can solo now. Like, you can't kill me. It's nighttime. If you come on me, one guy's going to TP and you're dead. So he's going to utilize this first night just to get his 6, and then he'll turn it into an aggressive move.
MSS just trying to stop the runes from being taken. Storm Spirit's going to jump forward after Fada. Paladai brings the extra support. So dying inside of Roshan. Fada is the man to cop it. PPD wants to retreat back out. Sprout is off cooldown. They'll get in range. And this time PPD, he doesn't have a way to cut free. So he's forced to stay where he is. So CC can jump forward. And he'll get himself a double kill for the mid lane.
And this is exactly what you want from your Storm pick. You want him to be getting these free kills. Because, again, if you look on these heroes, he can kill the Warlock, the Tiny, and the Zeus as soon as he hits 6. These are just the free kills. And you need to utilize that to then make sure their games are a little bit more punished.
The sad thing for a Drow Ranger, have to completely abandon the bottom lane before you're 6.
Yeah, and especially that he can't insta-kill the Ancients now. The farm will be a little bit slower. He still will have good farm. It's just stacking the Ancients has no value, right? So
yeah, it was that great recovery mechanism. But she's not far behind in CS. Like the top 3 CSs still belong to forward, barely, but they still belong. Rolling Boulder in. Oh, Warlock gonna cop it. Ace was the primary target. The follow-up kick and Yawar arrives. He's got that 1 point up in Gust. If they want to try and find a target, Storm jumps in, hits the Vortex just as Ace was attempting to TP out. All 3 kills for forward going to CC in the span of 2 minutes.
They are playing really well around this Storm Spirit. As soon as he hits 6, he's able to get these kills. Of course, unfortunate he did die before the Zeus, so he couldn't make the forward play straight away. But again, we can't forget that 33 is still just farming in bot lane. Like, Nip knows, like, this is going to be, as soon as, like, 33 is like, guys, let's go fight. The whole game's going to change. So I think just making sure that forward can, like, utilize this kind of off period, get a couple items, and then they should be able to take the fights.
I'm waiting for him to actually put something into his quick buy as well. Like, what does 33 believe is a critical item? You mentioned the Blink Daggers previously, but how is he itemized to get the mass control against like a hero like a Storm Spirit, which I think is his job, right? Like 33 has to try and lock down CC.
He probably will be going drums and then maybe a medallion so that he can unlock Roshan for his team, and then most likely the Blink after that. Because the Storm naturally wants to buy Treads, he wants to buy Kaya, and then he looks towards either the Yules or the Bloodstone, and he doesn't really want to buy the BKB straight away because it's not mana regen, and you're a Storm player, you don't want a BKB really. So I think there's going to be a point in the game where 33's items will just surprise CCNC.
Man, I can't believe just saw Sexy Bambo's name up there for a second. That is not a name I have seen in a very long time. But thanks for the history stats. I guess Nox is on the fingers right there. NIP preparing their, I say it's aggressive posturing with some aggressive vision on the bottom lane.
Again,
Pyjamas is waiting for the defense.
but you can see how the game shifted, where normally at this point in the game, both supports need to take a lane to recover their levels, but
They're going top. PPD, rolling boulder in. Hold him inside the trees. This time he does have a way to cut free, but it won't really matter. Here's your Reaper's side. Put the captain down for 30 seconds.
that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme. They might take this tower,
Yeah.
but the Warlock's still going to get the book. He's going to get his 6. The Tiny's not going to be punished. He's going to get his book as well. And then they're going to take this fight. Like, sure, losing this tower is sad, but overall, if forward aren't hitting your high ground, you really don't care, because this draft, it's going to fall off.
And here's 33 TPing in, so that push is dead.
Yeah.
It is not happening anymore. It is 23 seconds until we hit the daytime, so this rotation happens. He's doing, as you said, the medallion is, well, most of it's on the courier.
Okay. It's because they know that forward can also quite easily do Roshan, so they need to be able to, if they do take a good fight, then also be able to take Roshan to take it away from them.
He's found Ace. He's got an arcane rune that's also helping him. Prophet's going to TP over. Need to trap him down. Obviously, sprouting. You'll have to do it on top of the hill, but it's all about the bounty runes. And, well, forward will get majority of them. CCNC will get the illusion in bottom river. And there's the tomes you've been talking about for a while.
A nice even split of bounty runes throughout the entire game so far.
Oh, Ace. Do you really want to come back into this? CCNC wants to go in a little bit deeper. Vortex pulls him back over. Here's your rolling boulder forward, plus the kick, slowing down Ace's retreat. Support is there in the form of the avalanches. Ace, the Sprout, trying to protect MSS, but actually trapped him in. Ace, he's just leeching him, and he can push forward. No, CCNC will finally put him down. So support for Core, but that felt so much harder, and they're still fatally bonded up. Here's your toss. Damn, that's long. Highlight Eye. Barely alive. He begins his own TP out. Both will get out. The bolt will connect. Storm will live, however. So Troll will be dropped, but this also seems to be fine. Like,
You should.
Dro Ranger's just been farming up in the meantime. She's well on her way to, like, she's got the 3 Wraith Bands, the Treads, and the Dragonlance.
But there is a point in the game where the Drow does feel very upset. Is when you have this troll in your face, this nice look in your face, the Drow does lose its impact. So normally you can have the Drow can sit behind these beefier cores, and Necro sure can be that one as well, but then you don't really have anything else to protect this Drow.
It's like when, like, hey Drow, all you need to do is just survive and let CCNC take advantage from you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's all you need.
Like, as long as Drow can tank the spells and then Storm actually get some damage out, then sure, but they do lack a lot of, like, burst damage, really. It's just, other than, like, the Cypher radius, it's just a lot of just chip damage.
They're going in towards mid. Jump forward, Fada, nice rolling boulder in, but then the rock, the fatal bonds, everything's going to connect. Fada will still end up dying. Sucks is not a healthy man either, but Snaking, he's able to Ethereum himself and try and walk away from Ace, who cannot connect in. Even MSS can just rolling boulder further up the hill away from the rocks. The Magnetizer is causing a lot of problems, in fact, for PPD, who couldn't keep the chase going, so they get the kill and they get out.
There's a really nice defensive zip from CCNC as well. He just made sure he stayed just long enough to help get the kill and then get away. The Night Stalker coming from the tree line could have easily clipped this Storm in the silence.
And I was expecting NIP to really just turn that one around. Like I was prepping it up for exactly that. You trigger Dark Ascension. It's like, all right, 33, now is going to be your time to really hit hard. And forward just split in 3 different ways, and NIP couldn't focus a target. It's also amazing how tanky Snaking can be.
Sure, well, Necro is naturally quite a tanky hero. He's going for the double bracer build as well. He's got the buckler and he's going for the greaves. Like, he knows, like, he needs to build to enable his team in, like, an early window. He can't be greedy. He can't try and go for some, like, weird, like, Radiance build or anything. Like, he just has to commit for what his team's, like, goal is. And that's the quick, not the quick push, but the earlier engagements, and then getting Roshan and then taking control.
Seems like some nice cannons as well in the just the way the hero functions. Like Ghost Shroud, Troll can't sit on top of him. Like, when you get the Fatal Bonds out, there's an AoE heal. Like, obviously through the pulse, they can try and keep everybody up a little bit more. So forward, maybe that was one of their thinkings as well.
It's just an aura buyer, really. Like, you want a grease buyer and you want a pipe buyer.
Well, they're going after 33 again. Pyjamas dies in the neighborhood. They really want to secure the T2 tower on top lane as well. So they create space, and NIP will back up and give forward the room.
I'm just liking the difference between the first game and this one. Like, Ford clearly knew what they wanted to do with their draft, and they are trying to execute it. I still think Nip does have, like, forward on a timer, where if they do make mistakes, then Nip can take this game. And this is what Nip normally does with their drafts. So I'm excited to see how forward take this this early momentum, and if they can shift it towards like a clean execution on Roshan and actually making sure that they keep the lanes pushed out.
Might have been a mindset of the team as well. Forward was like, you know, game one didn't really go our way. Let's go with something where like our timing may be a little bit more obvious.
Yeah.
But we know the objective. Everything works towards their CC and CLA rotations to try and find kills, and we just push, push, push.
Yeah, exactly. And he's also quite comfortable here as well. Like Paradise Nature's, he plays it quite a lot. CC as well, of course. Storm, snaking on the Necro. Like these are very comfortable heroes they got as well. So it's like they just want to get a clean game that they know that they can play, and I'm guessing they can execute well.
Yeah, and they're looking for a little bit more. NIP, they're trying to keep a lot of players together on top of each other. PPD, Chaotic Offerings coming off cooldown, so he will have that counter initiation on the team fight. And in fact, they smoke on 33 and PPD. Not certain exactly where they want to go with this, as Ace, he's the one being jumped on, picked up, being dragged back over. They're all TPing over the tier 1 tower, and look at CCNC. He just wants to get the hell out of here. He's still got a haste room. That's why his movement speed is so damn good. So they managed to drag all of NIP, 5 players, down to this bottom lane. CCNC needs a jump. He's switching to Intel. The silence from 33 is just able to reach MSS as he got anything to help him out. The rock will drop and MSS will die as well. Maybe should have just let the Storm Spirit meet his maker.
This is the power of the Night Stalker. Like, if he does go for the blink next, he's going to have some really big issues in that.
And he's going for Dro. Yua's in a lot of trouble. He has no real way to escape this potential TP out, but okay, he does the silence, begins the TP, which is why there's no stun.
I was so close as well.
Timing it nicely, but 33, as you can see, like, you know what he wants to do. Like, we take 1 kill, we have to move to the next target.
It's because what happens is when you're this core player playing up on the other side of the map, you know your team's just died. It's like, okay, I've got a little bit of breathing room. I can hit this extra creep because I know they're bottom. But 33 is so quick, moving around the map, making it feel like the map's just getting restricted to them.
Another big thing for the fact, like, CCNC died on bottom lane, but he didn't lose money for it. He bought up his entire Kaya before death. Obviously, still giving cash over. But it went to PPD. Like, PPD got the 402. That's a man that will never hold on to that money.
But as well, this move, it allowed them to get the deep ward out in the jungle, just above their bot shrine. They've also de-warded as well from PPD, and utilizing the Zeus just to make sure every time you walk somewhere, you're just bolting down, just making sure that there's not some random wards about.
Some pings coming towards the mid. Pilot Eye is making the most of this observer ward. All right, Fighter and Tuxedo is not going to take this for much longer. They get hit. The courier flies right over the top of Pilot Eye. One more hit would have done it. He needs to get the hell out of here. Meanwhile, in mid lane, they're setting up for a gank over towards PPD. He's low on mana. Chaotic Offering is still on cooldown for the moment. Finally, they're actually able to catch out Pilot Eye. He really...
He was a little bit deep.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. I like that.
Like, it's
felt odd, to say the least.
If anything, you'd think maybe he's
tossing
putting a
it.
ward
Night
out.
Stalker going towards Yoa. They're able to get the silence off, and it's a little bit of trouble for MSS, but now they turn over towards 33. The kick is good. Storm Spirit gonna jump forward. Another double gust hitting in towards the Tiny. The Reaper Scythe will put him down. 45 seconds on the sideline. As NIP continue their retreat, still no Chaotic Offering. Ace is not wanting to fight yet.
When Nip takes his engagements with like 1 or 2 going about the full team, forward gaming are just so much stronger, and Pilot dying in exactly the same spot again.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Nope. Die. Tier 2 tower is going to get wrecked apart. At least that's the upside. The fact you have Yawar and Snaking just going ham on it. But Ace, he wants to try and slow this down and forward. They're not going to bring the tower within denier range. They're happy with what they've claimed so far.
I think Nip just need to make sure they don't feel pressured to try and take these fights. Like they should know that they can just farm up, play around the Golem, play around the Night Stalker, and they should be fine.
Here we go again. So
see here, they're going in just by 2. You can see already, the Troll's already up by the Shrine, you've got Zeus pushing out mid. Like, this engagement should never really happen. And sure, Drow's changed to her ult, but like these heroes, they're just still going to die very quickly. I just think that Nip just need to be a bit more logical with their movements.
Well, they're going to try with Smoke.
This is a very convenient
CCNC's
smoke.
the easiest target with no mana, but he's going all the way back to base.
It's just going to be a simple push down mid. Whoever reacts to the tower, they're going to jump them first. And then hopefully if the TPs are slow, then they should be able to take the very good engagement.
Well, if Yuan gets the engagement now, he may be... Well, he won't be perfectly happy. He doesn't have a BKB, but he does have the end of a double damage rune.
But I like how the Necro went for the 4-stuff instead of completing the Greaves. It allows him to play into the Night Stalker and also save whoever the Night Stalker is going on. Just itemizing for Nip's potential like power spikes.
Look at this. Ace has to defend the bottom lane. They don't get their push into mid. Pyjamas was waiting, was just pressuring top lane or waiting to pressure top lane. NIP are always looking behind them. Like, maybe that's what Pyjamas' objective was. Like, I'm going to stand behind you, so you have to look backwards.
Yeah. And again, like, when Pyjamas plays the Natures, again, he's like PPD as well. They're very sacrificial supports. But when you play this Furin, you naturally do get items. So he's got the Medallion. They're going to go for Roshan soon. And he's going to be able to get these, like, aura items that his team might not even have to buy.
Just waiting to see just how much damage Fighter can do. Because he got the Veil of Discourse. At least he got the amplification of the magical damage from NIP.
I am a little bit surprised that there's not an earlier pipe. I know Necro's got one tabbed in right now, but when you've got such like the bonds, you've got Zeus as well, you'd think an earlier pipe would be thought about.
Yeah, but you do have a lot of life. Like the double braces on the Necro as well as the ES. Storm Spirit's got like a lot of, well, he's just got maneuverability and, well, Paladai, well, he can die kind of thing. Like, that just seems to be his lot in life.
But 33 is also, he's looking towards the BKB as well, just because he doesn't want to go for this Blink Dagger, I guess, because if he does make the wrong move, he's just going to blow up as well. So I think he's trying to become more of a threat and allow his Tiny to be the one blinking in.
I'm interested to see if Forward's able to get rid of this Dire Observer Ward. It's been up for a while. But the movement back of NIP, like obviously Forward can't see it, but they need to start establishing some vision control.
You just need to think about like how Forward knows, like we know Forward's on this like this timer, and like Nip when it does go later that they should have the stronger lineup. So it's like when's Forward gonna take that next step? When are they gonna go for Roshan? When do they feel comfortable? Like what items are they waiting on? Are they waiting on a Bloodstone on Storm, or are they waiting on the Drow to have the BKB, or
they're waiting on CCNC to go full Miracle and just 5v everyone?
Oh, of course,
like
yeah, 1v5. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, easy
okay,
done.
So the Drow's got the BKB, and now they're trying to smoke into bot. I'd like to see the Drow.
But this happens at the same time as Ace has got his own BKB. So there's immunity that has arrived on both sides of the one positions, and you see where NIP is going. They saw Drow for half a bit underneath the Observer Ward.
This is really bad if the Drow connects with the smoke, actually.
Yeah, she's going to walk over. They're going to see her. She has to BKB instantly, and then just a quick gush. Hits 4 heroes to TB out Yawar. He gets it off in time. He'll burn his 10-second BKB for it. But what's the trade-off? Is it tier 1 for a tier 1? And the 10-second BKB gone?
Yeah. And obviously Troll didn't have to use his BKB there, so... But they had to use the Night Stalker, or they didn't have to, but they nearly tried killing the Drow using the Night Stalker ult, so... They just... If 33 can also get this kill on top as well.
Oh, Paradise, get the hell out of here. Yeah, you know that's going to come. Like, I think this is like this is the 33 maneuver.
No,
okay, fight doesn't work, I TB the Shrine, I attack the guy who's split pushing.
I see push, I go. That's basically it in a nutshell.
Invis room for snaking. You still gotta be careful. There's a sentry ward above and below him. He doesn't want to walk into this, and Pyjamas prepares the scouts. So many heroes in mid lane for Forward as well as Nip. They're looking for their fight. Ace is the one who wants it with that BKB. This is a good timing for him, but bottom lane, the jump comes over onto Tiny. CCNC, he'll have to jump once again, or will he? Puts down the Remnants, there's your Avalanche. It's the slow stuns up. CCNC doesn't have a lot of man to work with. That's the reason he has to one charge up as Ace gets the BKB off, battling the Necrophos, but that's why you got Ghost Shroud. Slows it down, Pardai has Sprout. Needs to isolate Ace, needs to actually get that Sprout onto the ground. He's able to do so. Ace will cut free. Kick comes in as the BKB of Ace has worn off. Snaking, he's got the range. The Veil damage, it's gonna combine enough. Hitting with a Thunder God's Wrath to bring him down, but the Drow Ranger will arrive. Gets the silence on Warlock, so there's no ability to get the rocks off. Ace is in trouble too. CCNC is back. Barter will die over in the tree lines. They move over onto the Tiny. It's a double kill for Yawar. And NIP, full pushing up the daisies, will lose their tier 2 tower as well as this fight.
They were trying to go on the Necro the entire time, and even though there's been like these changes to Necro, like he's still the same hero. He still has a lot of sustain. He's still really annoying to kill. He's got a 4-staff as well. And you're going to see it here, right?
Yeah.
Like, sure, you eventually get him, but see how far you've overextended. PPD tries to go for the Golem. Yawar comes with an excellent silence. And now, your Night Stalker is still mid running over. It's daytime. He doesn't have an ult. Like, I feel Nip are just forcing it a little bit too much. Like, they're playing into exactly what Forward want.
And Forward will take it.
And now they have Roshan. They've got the Medallion, the Nature's Prophet. Oh,
okay.
They got to think about it a little bit longer, I guess.
Sure. You know, the funny thing is, like, the way PPD started that, he came in, cast his Fatal Bond, and then he needed just half a second longer to get the golem down. But in that time, Forward identified their target. And like, that's that power of jumping into... It wasn't even the backlines. Like, PPD had to come so far forward.
He was in there. Yeah, he was in there. I love that chat line. And again here, this move, like, you are moving down to bot. He feels safe because his team's already pushing, but like, if he did actually die here, that could easily have been a mid-tier 1 and then Roshan. So, like, just getting out the skin of his teeth there. A little bit of luck.
Yeah. And this is almost a little too easy when you have, like, a Draw Ranger in your lineup just to move in and take Roshan.
Well, both sides have really good rush potential. So it's mainly like who makes the first mistake and then who can capitalize on it. And in this scenario, Nip made the mistake. They made the daytime move onto a Necro, and now Forward can just go and take Roshan and keep playing towards their kind of their timings, right? They want to get some 4-stars, maybe a Hurricane Pike, maybe a BKB to stop the Night Stalker. And as soon as you have these items, now you can just go. They don't feel scared because 33 when he plays its Night Stalker, or any player on it really, if there's any way that they can get out of that silence or get rid of the silence, then you don't really care.
Yeah. Is there actually like does Forward want to push in at this point? Like, they get the Aegis Immortal, like, what are you looking to claim with this? There's only 2 tier 2 towers remaining on the outside of the map. Do you just take them out and establish map control? Do you look for the fight against NIP? What
you really want is Storm's going to pick up this Aegis, of course, and you want the Storm to have 0 cares. You want to have good vision out, so when you make this push, like Paladise, he's probably going to TP in, he's going to probably get a really deep ward out, and he might die, whatever. When he respawns with the ward he's placed, then you play into it, and the Storm jumps onto the Warlock, you get rid of him, you make him maybe waste Golem, and then from that point, you then have a free push. You have like a 2-minute window just to do whatever you want. You're a Drow lineup, you're going to take buildings. The only thing you're scared of is Bonds into a Golem, and then a Night Stalker maybe being able to get that silence off. But you've got a 4-star on Necro, you've got the Hurricane Pike soon on Drow, and is Storm going for a BKB after Bloodstone? Okay, he's about to complete his Bloodstone, so maybe after that he might actually get the BKB. And now no one cares at all about this Night Stalker. He's just like, he's a strong right clicker at this point, but you've got Shroud on the Necro, and it's just hard. It's just a sad game where the Night Stalker, like, when they played it before, they've had him in a solo side lane, or they've had like for example, in previous patch, had Enigma, and you just really enabled him. This game, I feel like he wasn't fully enabled because he had to obviously lane into a Drow, and his initial movements weren't like objective based. They were secure his own farm, maybe get a kill, but they were never leading into taking towers. Like, they've only taken bottom tier 1 and mid tier 1. So really, what have you achieved with this like classic pick that they're used to playing aggressive with? I'm actually just looking at the camera like perspective of NIP, and you'd expect them to have a bit of a discussion going on. I don't think I've seen Peter's mouth move since this pause has begun. 33 spoke for half a second. It's like, so what's the actual plan here, guys? Like, you're behind. Do you know where you're coming? Do you know what your plan is? Is this something you should be talking out at the moment, or is it just because Fada's like because it's Fada who's down right now? His PC has crashed. I think it's one of those positions where it's not like you're losing to something that you shouldn't already know. It's not like this, like, you know they got a Drow lineup, you know that you've got this lineup that's very dependent on playing in certain windows, and they've played against their own windows of time, right? So it's nothing out of the like crazy. They know what they need to do to win the game. So there's no point like over analyzing it. It's like, okay, we took a bad fight during daytime. We took a fight with everyone split. You don't need to repeat that, because if you keep repeating negative stuff, you're gonna potentially tilt your own team, right? And it happens across like all teams. So it's better to just sit back and accept it.
Meanwhile, Forward have a lot of fun at CC and C. Let's the tongue wag.
They're pulling off a Drow strat. Like,
it's like, hey guys, you know how game 1 wasn't really great for us? You know what brings teams together? Draw Ranger. Draw Ranger always brings teams together.
4 ranged heroes in a Drow strat. How happy can you be?
Like the only thing that would make this better is if you replaced ES with techies, and then you have 5 range heroes.
Stop trying to force his techies. You've spent all day trying to force the techies.
I haven't tried to force anything.
You're talking to social media people, asking them to get their teams to play it.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to have FYI have a little bit extra more of a lesson in that because it was heartbreaking to watch. Like that was as painful as watching Wings play it at TI. It's like, come on, you know how this can work. If you haven't suicided 3 times within the first 2 minutes, something is wrong. Like seriously wrong. Just for everyone out there, we'll be approaching this one. So I'm paddling next.
No, yeah.
So when LGD pick it,
Yeah, don't worry. The follow-up to this is on that panel. So.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. Tune in for great times and techies ways you can win techies in pubs.
Also, another important thing about this game actually is the Tiny. I haven't seen a lot of impact from him really. Like overall in the game, you haven't seen this like mid rotation where you like toss the mid laner into your tower. You haven't seen him like actually do a lot. Like he dragged the initial creep waves to try and secure the Night Stalker, but then the Night Stalker's not had a good game, so the trade-off of allowing him something hasn't provided the Tiny then.
It's also kind of odd though with the Tiny, right? Because like the Tiny works well with these heroes that you want to be able to. What is going on here? I think they got.
Wait, what?
I think they got permission.
No.
They got permission to go to the toilet.
Wait, they go for a 5-man toilet?
I'm fairly certain. Oh come on, do everything as a team, man. Everything as a team. Maybe not everything.
There's going to be a queue in there. You understand that, right?
Oh, there's enough.
There's like no,
You've got 3 locker rooms worth.
but they changed it now.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, it used to be just like, but now it's like one's for something else. Now it's like male, obviously male and female, right? And then the male one is out of order for half of it. So there's going to be a queue here, guys.
Oh, well, that's definitely problematic. Just wait till that IP are just like, hey, can we start the game again? I don't think they can hear us. They must have muted us.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really important people understand like why the pause is here.
Yeah, so it's so we had an area before. So Farda's PC is having to be replaced. So they'll have to just pull out the drive, plug in a new one, and hopefully he'll be good to go in a matter of no time.
He's falling asleep here.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice cinematic.
So yeah, we have for a moment where it's like we'll still be paused. I was waiting for the punchline.
Yeah.
It's like the joke is like, you know what? I'm only going to give you the first part of it. We're not going to give you the second part.
Just going to tease you.
Instead, we'll be showing you this overall perspective. You know, I get so disorientated when we have this.
But this is such a good shot though. I think I like it for Roshans when there's no one coming to contest it. When it's a free Roshan, it's really good. Because you don't really need to see much.
Yeah,
they're taking it.
You just relax and take in the environment.
I like when they group up for a smoke. I like the idea of just being able to see the smoke and the general path, because you see a lot more of the map this way, right? So you can see the direction where the smoke's going. That's nice. As long as it's not like initial fight and then it's like, oh, but I think right now this is nice. It's such a nice outlet. 33's farming top. Storms in the jungle.
Yeah, he's just got a little ball of light around him as well. I see a light in the east. Don't walk towards it. Yeah. It's really nice. Like you don't always see Dota from this perspective, like because we're always used to like the default perspective. It's bottom left and top right, and it's not this. But I always like the films, like the Source filmmaker stuff.
Yep.
That we always get like coming around TI time, like the great cinematics they make, and you just have like these odd perspectives that you can take from different parts of the map.
Whereas how short heroes actually are in the map.
Yeah. You know the actually hilarious thing is, and I got this when I was playing around with the original Source filmmaker when Dota was first added in, and it was the fact that Dota heroes are like 100 times the scale of Team Fortress 2 heroes. So when you actually import the Dota hero into a Team Fortress 2 map, you've got to reduce.
A giant.
Yeah, just literally a giant.
The one guy forgets to do it one time, and it's like,
it's just like, wait, that's really, really bad.
That's like a bloodlusted Dragon Knight with BKB. You know, you seen that on Reddit?
Oh, we wish we had those back. Like when you trigger BKBs, like for Cosmodon, and he would just increase in size and just like go full gold. I always feel like the BKBs are less impressive.
But I'm looking forward to seeing that in an actual game. Like, because the Dragon Knight with BKB, Bloodlust, it's so big. And it's going to be so obnoxious, but...
Hey, we're back.
Ogre's not a hero.
Everyone's back.
Lava.
Beautiful. So spectacular.
Come on, where's the chat walls now?
I actually realized they had a little... Where does that lava come from? Inside the pit. There is not a source of this unless it's sprouting up through the back.
It comes from the earth. It shoots up.
You know what? I always thought, like, if Roshan's going to be in a pit, put him in a pit. It needs to go down into the earth, because that is not a pit. That's not a Roche pit. That's a cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac.
It is a cul-de-sac. It is not a pit. It's a cul-de-sac.
Okay, that's noted. Okay.
Yes, Roshan opening up real estate agency pretty damn soon. Would you like a great cul-de-sac in a water-based area?
It's as if you want like Roshan to be on like another level. Like you have to go down a ladder and it's a whole new map.
Hey, people pay for canal views. Wonderful Reaper site. Going to cancel the TP out here, Osaxa, and that's when Pilot Ike comes to come and join it. You had to talk before, during the break. It's like, you know what? Well, we talked about everything, but the Tiny, how is his effect? His effect is death for 43 seconds.
Yeah, this Tiny's not really had a good showing, and like forward now, they know exactly what they need to do. Just group up, don't get picked off, and just force them back, force them to defend. Put 2-3 heroes up in top, then they can move down bottom, etc. Like they don't need to do anything too special, any bit flashy players to try and close out this game at this point.
Yeah. You have to be stable with it. Don't fall for the new items. The BKB has arrived on 33, so we can run in nice and deep. But I got to give a lot of props as well to UR. Like, they have ways they can close the distance on him, but his gusts have been right on point. Like, 4-mans as well. Now he's got the Hurricane Pike, so a change in positioning can also be there.
But also, I really like what he's got in his quick buy right now. He's going for the E-Blade, which means if the Night Stalker does get on him, he can't obviously Hurricane Pike for the distance, so he's just going to be able to E-Blade himself. And it's just, it still gives him agi gain. It's a very good item, actually.
It was meant to be like one of the greatest values for money. I remember, like, what was it, like Kai Hani was always a big believer in this one. It's like, you know what, I don't need to get Butterfly. I can just get like multiple versions of just like this. That's all I need.
It looks as if they're itemizing for in around about 4 to 5 minutes is when they want to try and win this game. They can have a BKB on Storm and this E-Blade on the Drow. That's their timing.
It's Pilot Eye's time to die. He's got Solar Crest to try and survive, but there's your Blink Avalanche. Okay, they don't want to commit to it. They're worried there's so many heroes coming from the Tier 1 tower, and they're right, there is.
He has tried Solar Crest. He has like 1700 HP. Like this guy's not going to die to some like support Tiny that's only got a Blink Dagger, so.
Yeah, 1700 HP, 25 armor. Sure. So NIP, they need a little bit more. All right, CCNC. Yeah, you've got mana regeneration. Let's not show it off.
I'm just happy to see Forward playing this game a little bit slower, knowing that when they get to this next level of items, that's when the game's theirs. Like, some teams in this position, when they have the Drow, they might feel like they need to try and take these tier 2s or try and play a bit more in their face, but I'm liking how, from the first game, Forward are playing a little bit more disciplined with, and it's as if they...
NIP. They're going to go on to snaking. Quick, easy, silence. Look how fast they can kill him. No, the Gust pushes him back. They have the regeneration. They'll get to the Ghost Route. 33 is going to BKB up, and now he's losing a lot of life way too quickly. Maybe they can get him down. Yeah, they can. Reaper side, 72 seconds down, and they get the pullback as well. One to the next, to the next. Ace is the man trying to stand his ground and fight. Maybe with some help. The Rock, the Fatal Bonds! Look at this build down damage. They just can't do it. MSS, he doesn't want to stick around here. He's killing up the rest of his team at this point. Aegis Immortal will burn. Yua's back to the world of the living. A quick Gust pushing back the Night Stalker, but the rest of NIP is there. He actually turns around to stand and face his enemy. Oh, NIP, what a fight. The turnarounds were there so hard from Warlock. The buyback had to come in from 33 too.
It was such a good Bonds Golem from the Warlock, and especially also the...
here we go.
You'll see it here.
Let's see it again. So it's not as great as the OG, but it's pretty damn good.
The double force at the start of the fight made it think Forward it could play this. Like, the Drow was getting so much damage off, and then at this point here, I think there's a... Sure, Night Stalker dies, he buys back, but the double stun from the Tiny coming in really allows the Golem to have good impact.
Yeah. So Ace turns, and here comes that stun you're talking about. The Fatal Bonds on all 5 heroes connected together at the same time. The burst damage.
Yeah. The Tiny locks onto the Storm, and then the Golem just obliterates everyone else.
Yeah. They really, like, you know why the BKB is coming for the Storm Spirit. You know why he needs to complete this as early as he possibly can.
This is what I was saying. I was expecting Forward to be a little bit slower, wait for this item, then go. Look, this is how they're playing for the last 5 minutes, but then the Necro walks up high ground, and this fight's kind of forced, so I really want Forward just to slow down a little bit, get that one more item, and then they can fight. Just wait.
But now it feels like if they try and slow it down, it's going to play into the hands of NIP. They're starting to get momentum. They're starting to get more confident to get aggressive.
But that's the exact issue with like Forward's draft. When they make this one mistake, they feel like they're on the back foot, and that's the advantage of the Night Stalker. When you do get this good like fight, Now it's scary. It's nighttime. They don't need Golem. They can just play aggressive, get the towers, maybe get a pick off here.
Oh god, here we go again. It's just like last time, Snaking walking uphill into the middle of all of NIP. This time around, he'll survive once again. Pipes and Mechs. A big silence on NIP. Okay, it shows how hard it is to kill this Necro.
Yes. Of all the heroes they could have found in that position, Necro's the one they didn't want.
Do you think he's actually doing it on purpose? He's like, you know what, last time I guess I'm walking, like, I know I can survive.
I'm testing my limits.
Yeah, so, this Necro is made in China.
He's like, look how quickly I can press this shroud. Boop. Testing his reflex, that's all he's doing.
No, he's making space for Pyjamas Die. That's what it's all about. Split pushing Prophet. We're going to see the power of like the Kuro style Prophet kicking in again. That support that can just keep the lanes pressured on all sides. Because it doesn't take much for forward just to push in themselves.
Yeah, you can see forward is potentially falling off at this point. These of course you can get, if he didn't get the Necro there, any other hero they'd be dead right now, and they'd be playing off it. So forward needs to make sure the next fight they are sticking together. They are not like like the Drow's not just farming off by himself. And if they do muck up this next fight, then it's looking very scary.
Yeah, they could look to the. Well, obviously next Roshan could spawn on up in about like a minute and a half from now. This will only be the second Roshan, so we don't have any of our fancy stuff that could come later on.
Oh no, the Ags.
We need to kill it faster.
I think the Ags for this game, it looks pretty good for the Drow. The Drow or the Storm would be the best. I think Storm actually.
Never forget about, like, I always liked the Earth Spirit Ags. Like just stone you and just save you.
Just stone and just kick him a mile away.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's just like, you know what? We're getting E-Blade, we're getting Ghost Step. You know what? I'm just going to make it impossible for you to do any kind of damage and kite the troll out.
But like, so the Storm.
Yeah, there's a lot better. Storm's a lot better. I'm only playing the meme game right now.
I'll let you get carried away with that one.
I am not legit, in case you cannot tell the sarcasm in my tone. It gets lost in the Australian.
So the Storm, he's already got his BKB queued up. You just saw the Earthspirit, he had his BKB queued up. Nature's Prophet had one as well. Like, they're all moving towards this point where it's like, we're going to buy these BKBs, and we're just going to try and take this fight. We're going to try and not care about your Zeus, and not care about your little Golem, so...
Man, it's Ace really looking to go late. Like, all right, I'm going to get Battle Fury, cut through. Yep, great, love it. Initiation, Pyjamas Die, doing what he does best.
So
running away from everybody and surviving. That's what he does best.
He has Tread Solar Crest, and he just... like, this Tiny just does nothing. He's gone Blink Vlads. And he's trying to combo off of the Zeus, but normally when you want this Tiny, he needs to be able to just kill something. So
forward are coming. They are smoked up. CC&C has the Arcane Rune already triggered.
And he has the BKB, that's really important to note. He's got 10-second BKB.
He's got BKB and Bloodstone, so the sustain that can come in from the Storm Spur is even better.
Like, if they can actually take this fight with BKB, Arcane Rune, Bloodstone.
Who they run into? Jump forward, looking for Ace. Remember, he's got that BKB, triggers it off the Reaper side, just trying to waste the BKB. Timing the rock hits once again. No better bond to connect with them this time around. They're very much split up forward as Ace trapped in the back lines. It feels like MSS is just baiting on the other side. That's what NIP focus on, but they still haven't found the kill. Ace is still alive. Forward haven't got what they came for. It wasn't a one-off trade. Here comes the ES, rolling, bouldering in as fast as he possibly can. CC&C jumps once again, looking towards Sparta. The damage remains still ridiculous. Here comes ES, but he's silenced up. He can't get the magnetize off. He's trying to get it off. Another 3-man hit when it comes to the Fatal Bonds. They can get that focus damage in as Night Stalker has no more presence. His BKB won't protect him from the physical damage of the Drow Ranger, and Yawar can now go ham. Already has 2 kills to his name. He'll turn his attention over towards the Tiny. The third one in the tree line. CC&C will take that. And forward, man, it felt real rough at the start of that fight. Everyone was living through what they were meant to die to.
At the start of that fight, Storm was just zipping pretty much with no impact. He was just zipping across the fight, just kind of saying hello to each corner. And it was that, through the zips, they were like, wait, he's actually a little bit low mana. Maybe we can kill him. Maybe we can. And they stepped a little bit closer. And then at that point, they out-sustain the dire fight.
Right on top of the Nimbus. Goodbye, Storm! Evaporating out the damage from Yawar. Into Tiny, still enough to get the not enough to get the kill. And Yawar will BKB TP himself out. No bash for the Troll Warlord. Pyjamas Die, trapping up, trying to kill off the Tiny. Avalanche will make it difficult. A kickback from MSS. Will get the distance between him and Ace, and I'll pull my tongue out of my mouth while Pyjamas Die tries to TP out with the gem, but it will not work. Gathered up by the Tiny.
Storm walking up high ground there to hit the towers, just a little bit unnecessary. You just need, you can either just chip it. As soon as they double buyback, sure, you can disengage in hindsight, but again, they did have to buy back on 2 heroes, so...
They're going to go for Roshan now. He's up and Storm is down. So is Prophet for 30 seconds.
This would be really bad, actually, for forward.
Ace is just going to solo this. 33 will give him a little bit of extra cover. They both have BKBs available. And thanks to that Observe Ward, it's got another 20 seconds left on it. They're going to see Necro as well as the ES coming over. They see the positioning. The kick flies forward. You'll see Roshan snaking. Here we go. We're testing his limits once again. Pick him up, throw him down. The limits are really being tested. Roshan will go for his clap, and they're going once again. It's a nice silence, but 33's BKB protects once again. Maybe another Ghost Shroud. He stays alive longer and longer. Another Death Pulse. He'll have to let his Reaper Scythe go right now because he's already dead. No buyback available. Roshan has been delayed, and Storm Spirit is alive. Here to jump forward with a Nimbus! They hit him so hard straight away! Storm is gone! No buyback available. NIP run forward, but right now they're inspecting Bark, trapped inside the Sprout, underneath the Shrine. Yoa wants to go ham. The Magnetize Ace, he's trying to fight as well. Toss him in, get him on top of the Draw Ranger. They bring the Draw Ranger down. NIP, they live through it, and they're gonna kill everyone. The whole kit and caboodle out with the bathwater. Goodbye, forward. 5 heroes down. NIP get a wipe over forward, and they'll go in and finish what they started. Roshan.
What was this fight from forward? See, Storm TPing in, not wanting to BKB, instantly get Nimbus. This is the difference between these two teams, really. I think like Nip's a team where they can play into the later points of the game and they understand like the moves they need to make to try and win. Forward, they feel a little bit sloppier, where they're like half committing to like, the bot tower. When in reality, with Roshan spawning, they shouldn't have hit that tier 3. They should have taken that fight and instantly moved over to Roshan. Make Nip come to them and try and play off that. But instead, they were giving away the kills, allowing Nip to set up, and then they just take this really bad fight.
And look at all the money coming out in the courier. We've got it there thanks to our PIP. And it's the Manda style that also needs to actually send it over to the side. The Ace doesn't have his orb on him, so he'll grab that anyway. But it's got Aeon Disc, it's got a 4-staff, extra vision, NIP. For the first time in this game, they have the advantage in both gold and experience. 5,000 for the gold, but we're not done just yet. The jump in, CC&C, looking for the target, wants to kill off PPD. He'll summon a golem on death. He'll get the first one off, which means there'll be a secondary stun as well. Double golems down, and trouble for snaking. He cannot be tested that hard. Ace has a double damage rune, more than enough to beat through him. Same with Pyjamas Die. All that tankiness. He can sprout and create some space, but it's still not enough. They have the range. MSS in the back lines. This Tiny has to go down there to get something. CC&C with a pushback, but he's down as well. This could just be the game right now. There's nothing left for forward to work with. They have the range AoE to get the damage into Yawa, even through the E-Blade trigger on himself. Ace has a triple kill. The entire fight with a double damage buff up. They just need to push now, and that's it.
This is exactly what we expected. Forward had a really good early draft. They could have played the early game, but they knew that as soon as you get to the later points, Nip's draft does come online, and
the timer ran out.
Nip's draft allowed them, they could play sloppy in the start of the game as long as they weren't losing fights near their base where they could lose objectives.
God, look at Ace just ripped through the tower. He didn't care about backdoor regen. They'll turn off now. The creep waves arrived. They're actually going to go for the rags. I thought they may just push straight in for the tier 4 towers, but with the creep wave on bottom lane as well, they're going to be a little bit safer about this, as you mentioned, like in game 1. NIP, you know what? We'll get 2 lanes of Raxes. That's a better thing to get, but it gives forward one more chance for a defense.
They're going to go for bottom, and then there's still the tier 2 top anyway.
I know you're tanky sneaking. Buyback's available for the Prophet. Storm will have buyback available as well. He just got the money for it. Obviously, he cannot afford to lose the Necrophos.
They should just tower him back here. They should not try and commit for this.
Ace is going to do exactly that. Remember, they still have the Aegis the Immortal, but Fada's already TPing. He's going all the way home.
I just see the Necro's item progression, and he's got this pipe, he's got the Greaves, and this fort. It's like he had some of these. He had the mech, the Force, and the Hood early on. It's like he hasn't really scaled into the game. Like he's just his window of being super tanky's kind of gone.
He's just been hoping for like to get the Ags and keep the momentum up. Like that was it. Like just keep buying items to make sure the next phase is going to succeed. But when you lose. Like it's more than back-to-back. It's back-to-back-to-back fights. Like it's a lot of back.
And just look how fun this Warlock is. He's about to have Ags. Like PPD buying an Ags. He already has a medallion and he has so many items.
Look at the change. Yep. Okay. He's looking better later in the game.
And that's a product from that mid fight when he got the big golem off with the 5-man bonds.
Yep.
That's when he started getting some gold coming in.
Yep. That's when he started being a real hero.
Yeah.
Storm Spirit, like, clean up the waves as much as you possibly can. Wrath of Nature will help with this, and Paladin needs to create space. He's got money to afford his own BKB, but he won't have buyback if he does it. But it won't matter, it seems. He's going to expend it anyway.
This next fight's so crucial. They just need to make sure they have all the items ready to take it. And there's the Blink dagger again on Night Stalker, so he's got Blink and Nullifier. Like, if he ever connects onto the Storm Spirit, there is no way he's surviving.
Yeah, CC is totally dead then. But they've got another controller as well. Even if he gets the BKB off, Abyssal Blade onto Ace. Like, this is the greatest thing. Like, for NIP's optimization, they've now got like these great lockdowns against the Storm Spirit.
And because the Storm Spirit got the BKB a little bit earlier,
oh, the vision.
Slowly
there's your jump. Nullify. Going to work. Pilot, needs to create some space. But he's like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. I'll BKB with my 10 seconds and just try and TP out. And, well, he could do that. But the cost is his Storm Spirit.
Yeah, like, again, the Blink Nullifier reveal. What's the Storm going to do?
Yep. Nothing. Die.
Exactly. That's the only option.
Yep.
Unless there was maybe like 2 4-staffs there and they could really push him far away, then he could like zip out, but you know.
Oh boy. Now we've got like double the rocks. The Scepter is up for the Warlock.
Yep. He's just going to bonds. He's going to throw out upheaval out for a couple of seconds, maybe throw out a heal, and then after that he's going to run in.
Yeah.
All he wants to do is now just die.
The Aegis does time out before this push happens, so Ace will switch his wand in.
The lanes are in a really good position. Like, the Aegis is such a small factor right now. Like, they've now accrued a 20k gold lead since like that rush shenanigans. Like, all they should do right now is Ace should hit the racks and everyone just sits back. There is no need for anyone else to come up and hit this.
Yep. Let Ace be the bait. Already veiling up, so Necro a little bit buffed, a little bit debuffed.
And again, a very good smoke from PvD just allows him not to get instantly jumped from the Storm. If there was a ward, it doesn't matter if they know they smoked, right? It just allows the initial jump not to be like precise.
Just try Sprout's like, hey, can you just like stay away from my building?
Shoo.
It's just like, why can't this tree catch an axe? I don't get this. Why can he actually bypass the trees?
Oh, now they're pushing out top. And the Storm's only level 22. It's not like if he was level 25 and being able to do the whole zip TPing stuff and pushing out the lanes, then maybe there was a chance they could like attrition nip and make them like split off the map, go push out top or something, and then come back. But I think that Ford are really clutching at straws here to try and win this one.
I love how Tiny even jumps in. I have a tree in my hand. Remember, I used to be really good at this. I was never just a support. I used to be able to be the hero that IO would combine with.
But this build as well, it's less impactful in the terms of like he's not going to suddenly kill anyone, but I like how he realized that he at no point in this game with his start he's going to be able to actually have the damage to kill anyone. So he's just going for a full utility build just to try and enable the rest of his cores.
I think at this point, when you put a trade on top of a rune, you have to deny it.
Oh.
Whoops! That wasn't what he was looking to do. Don't worry, nobody saw it.
It's a 5-second BKB, it's fine. Oh well.
You just see it's like, all right, I'm just going to put the Abyssal Blade into the backpack over everything else.
And he would have put the actually no, he'd always keep the B. Yeah.
He needs the Battle Fury in case of Sprout.
Yeah.
So he can't get rid of that.
He's going to activate DD, instantly put the Abyssal in, and hope that he doesn't need to use Abyssal in like the 6 seconds.
Yeah. Drop the bottle for whoever comes in behind him. Yeah.
Take my bottle, sir, please. Charity case. I think the Zeus might nab that back up.
It's not even his bottle.
No, it's Zeus's bottle.
Yeah, it's Zeus's bottle. And it's like PBD be like, I'll take it. I'll take it. I need something. The Nimbus is doing the D pushing up on the top lane.
This is the nice thing about the Nimbus. You can just leave it there. Of course, if the Natures went back up there, then the lane's going to be there again. But it's a nice, relaxing way to be able to always play as 5.
Yeah. They don't really like it. Really is the downside about NIP, and it's the funniest thing in the world. Like they don't really have any great D push against the split push that is forward gaming. But it won't matter when they have a double damage rune ready to go on the Troll Warlord and they just walk up the hill. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, they don't care about this Pos 5 Natures trying to do some shenanigans. They're just playing bot.
They fortify. Thunder God's Wrath just getting information on forward. Not looking for any extra damage, and here comes Storm Spirit jumping in, able to get the control. Nimbus going to cause some problems, and they get the Nullifier so quickly. Storm had to jump himself back out this one. The Rock will drop, connecting on 3, combining with Fatal Bonds. No, it isn't there just yet, but they've already cleaned up the racks, and NIP just want to back out this one. It's the double rocks of NIP.
Just
They will mop him up. Oh, Pylai die. He jumps in, he gets a Sprout. He's trapped for half a second, but he'll come free. That's why he's got the Battle Fury available there. Storm Spirit, the long jump forward, and he's just TPing back away.
All they need to do is be patient now. Just need to go back, push out top lane, and do the exact same process in top lane. Forward can literally do nothing to Nip when they're 5 with their ultimates.
That's why Forward aren't stopping this chase.
Exactly. They really need to get something.
They want to keep going. The Reaper side's available. They need an extra Sprout catching him, but a 4-star is up, so PPD gets pushed away. The kick comes forward, slows down PPD. The Troll Illusions are still there. A quick silence over on the Warlock, follow up with the Gust. Maybe they can kill off PPD, but if he's the only one to die for a full lane of frags on the bottom, you'll take that.
And got him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, give the money.
This was so not worth it. Nip are just going to wait, reset, and off they go again. And they're going to clear out top. They're going to probably go again for the racks. And it's going to be a slow, beautiful end. Or Forward could pick off Nip if they're all individually split across the map because they're feeling a bit cocky, and then maybe. But no, I feel like Nip's.
Oh, let's jump. They get the stun, Tiny. Yeah, pull him back in again. Here's your pick off with the Reaper side. Have they done enough damage? Yes, they have. 2 minutes.
There's the pick off. There's the pick off.
It is. And look at CC. He's like, I got to keep pushing. But his Bloodstone charges. He was down to 5. Now he's got 6.
Damn. That's a lot of Bloodstone charges.
Huge.
No, so yeah, like, sure, this is fine, but it's. When's Roshan back up? Yeah, a couple minutes. 2 3 minutes.
You're going to have a refresh orb coming in for Fada as well. And here's your jump. Jump in, nullify it. Storm Spirit needs some time. Snaking, 4 starves him out, give him a little bit extra life, but the silence on the Necrophos. There's your Storm. Jump away. CCNC just needs to live right now, and that's exactly what he'll do. He'll Ball Lightning TP away, and Snaking, well, once again, the limits shall be tested. Between the Ghost Scepter as well as the Ghost Shroud, he takes some time to die.
They just had to commit so much air to save the Storm Spirit. Oh, and Roshan's back up.
As your refresher orb, double the Nimbus during the fights, double the Thunder God's Wrath, so they can scan and pound them.
They don't want this refresher. Actually, they do because obviously the Warlock.
They've got both refresher orb on Zeus and the Aghanim Scepter. So like in this world, as NIP, like the investments come through.
Actually, no. If anything, they did want the refresher. They don't need no Axe consumable. They need this refresher for this Warlock. I take that back.
They can get the Axe consumable later. Well, right now, Forward. What can they find?
This is their last-ditch attempt to get back in this game. Is to try and take away this Aegis to then alleviate a little bit of pressure.
And here comes NIP under the cover of smoke. They actually hit him pretty early on. 33 going to BKB. Sees Roshan. Snaking once again being that front liner tank for him.
This is a very premature engagement by 33.
Yep. Bottom lane still going to push in too, so NIP won't feel too overly pressured. You are. He's not even opening up the slot just yet. There's 3 things he needs to pick up. Jump in, toss back, Snaking, fully tested the 3-man silence, and the rock drop. He got the Fatal Bonds off as well. But in the backline, Sparta, CCNC, he's trying to get rid of him, but he cannot do so. So back over towards Yoa. He's had to push himself outside of Roshan. The bash is out, CCNC. He'll jump up with the Nimbus. Fighter actually killed off Yoa. He saw him hiding up the back, and they actually got the extra control. It's all about the nullifier, stopping everybody. That's the game. Everyone's dead. Forward will call it in just a second. There's no way they will defend the next push from NIP. GG is the call. NIP will 2-0 this. So NIP's fate is in their own hands for this group stage. And Forward, they are checking out the bottom of the barrel because that's how far down they are.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one. I don't know how it's going to work out exactly the standings, but again, it's Nip's decision tomorrow. If they want to show up there and actually get the 2-0, then they're not going to be in the bottom 2.
Yeah. NIP, man, that's good patience. They were really being tested. The jump around. I thought for a moment, like when that bottom lane fight happened around the tier 1 tower of NIP, like, okay, the jumping around Storm Spirit created the chaos. We didn't see that full impact of the Warlock like we did in the mid lane, and that's right. Oh, maybe Forward's found a way to play around NIP.
I just think the key difference between the 2 teams is the Forward had this draft which put them on this timer, and they had to play really well to be able to pull it off. They started the game really well. They had the clear items that they needed to get, but then as soon as they were close to their final item to complete their lineup, they got a little bit impatient, went for the bad moves, which then allowed Nip to then come back and utilize the draft that they built for the mid-late game.
Yeah. And it's just really well played. And now NIP, like their matchup against TNC tomorrow is going to be even bigger for them because that's that battle for the end position because the bottom 2 teams in the group do drop out.
And of course, I don't know the result in the TNC game, but they're both going to be like the loser of that series, most likely.
1-1.
Okay.
I see Red doing this.
Okay, so that means NiP and TNC will be tied up. So that's going to be a very close game, and whoever loses that one, adios, maybe.
You know what? Red knows all these numbers. He's able to
we'll
crack
leave
all
it
this
with
stuff
them.
down. So let's leave it to the panel to do the math.
Ugh.
Yeah, we'll do some math. Don't worry. Welcome back to ESL 1-1-1-1-1-1-1. Lots of 1-1s going on in the group as ever. Liquid have gone 4 1-on-1s, but we'll cover that and we'll bring you up to date with where the groups are as far as Group A is concerned after we've broken down our second and final game in this series. Another terrific performance, really, and a bit like the guys were saying, Will, on the commentary desk, on a bit of a timer there for Forward. And in the first half of the game, it seemed like that was okay for them, but it did get away, didn't it?
I think what really put them on the timer was the itemization.
Right.
Like, I felt like NIP very clearly understood how they were going to get from point A to point B, whereas it felt like Forward were just way too comfortable with the pace of the game. And IP completely agreed with you. They were like, yeah, we are, once we get to the late game, we're going to be fine. So just build nullifiers and we're going to win this game no problem.
The nullifiers worked really well, by the way. Like it felt like constantly Forward was just having to dodge these really effective ganks against their really important heroes that were supposed to be more or less unkillable because they were mobile and had important skills. But it's like just a simple nullifier and a blank dagger on Night Stalker turned him into actually such a scary late game hero. It's kind of crazy to think about because he just seems so weak at a lot of cases, but 3-3 literally pulls the most out of him. That like this AoE silence that can't be dispelled normally, pair it with a nullifier, boom, and all of a sudden you have this like 8 seconds of dive on one important hero.
Yeah, it was very difficult for Forward. Do you think they did as much as they could have done in this game, Will? Was there much more they could have done? Couple of small mistakes in the team fights maybe, but there wasn't much wrong, was there?
I think they needed to speed up the pace of the game. They needed
to play even faster.
Yeah, they needed to play with more urgency because I felt like maybe they just thought that once the Storm had BKB, everything was going to be cool. But half the time, 33, who played honestly unbelievably on the Night Stalker, gave him no room to breathe whatsoever. And so I think they needed to respect that a little bit more, especially with their item choices and just the general way that they treated the map. There's way too many times where I felt like the Night Stalker was just able to get on top of the Storm for free and no one was really nearby. You have to like edit your playstyle as a result of these changes, and I felt like NIP was just one step ahead.
It's a great result as well, Kevin, for them. We said how important it was for these two teams to win the match, not just have another 1-1. It puts Ninjas in Pyjamas on 4-4, which puts them back in contention with the rest of the group. OG will have 4-4, Liquid will have 4-4, TNC have 4-4. Puts them right back in the mix again.
I mean, that's good. They just like being friends at the same position or something like that. They want to join the big pack, not the smaller pack. So.
Indeed. Scoreboard on screen, breaking down how Ninjas in Pyjamas won the second game in a row against Forward Gaming, leaving Forward Gaming at the bottom of Group A. They are 2-6 right now, although they're not too far away, just a couple of wins away from getting back on level terms with them, and they'll have a big game tomorrow, as our commentary team said, against TNC, which if they win, well, they would go level with them, but there needs to be a lot of other results going their way as well. So there's the breakdown of the scoreboard. Gents, help me pick out an MVP across the series.
I already told production. It's 3-3.
Okay. Why?
I just felt he just like he finds opportunities in good ways. He couldn't go quite as greedy this game. He had to go like treads raw, basically with like a bracer and win like straight into the BKB. But I just feel like he finds great opportunities for his team. He's altered his build a little bit. Sometimes he goes the damage talent, I guess. But like he knew what he needed to do this game, and he like finding openings against the enemy team is really hard sometimes when they get around that quickly. I mean, they don't, Ford's team didn't have great disables, so in some ways they couldn't really stop him from getting on top of them. But I just think he's excellent on his position and really excels in his role and his playstyle and stuff. So
was Ace a close second?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's
that first game he had in particular on the Sven was crazy good.
That's really true. Yeah, he was definitely in contention as well. But I don't know. I just like I'm just spoiled for carries these days. So like the standard just seems so like, oh, well, of course you're gonna do amazing. So now it's like hard for carries to stand out a little just because they all do so well. So maybe I'm just biased.
Okay, nothing wrong with a little bit of bias. Will, good performance by NRP. Again, bouncing back from a 2-0 defeat earlier on today. It was important that they came back strong like that.
Oh, absolutely. At this point in the tournament, it doesn't really matter where you get your wins from. Right. You just need them. It doesn't really matter how you get them either. Wins are all that really matter at the end of the day. They end up with the 2-0. from now, PPD can look back and say, okay, where did we go wrong and where did we go right? But you get that like sigh of relief saying like, we were supposed to win this 2-0 and we finally did. This is sort of maybe the jump off point where you can finally correct yourself a little bit.
Well, as I said, they've moved to 4-4 in Group A, which luckily for them leaves them tied with 3 other teams. So all still to play for as far as PPD's team is concerned. Let's hear from the man himself, the captain of NIP.
Thanks, Paul. Peter, that game was crazy back and forth, especially towards the end. It didn't always look like you guys had that second game, especially in the back. How did that game feel from your side?
Well, I think it felt like we were outdrafted and outlaned, and it was an incredibly difficult game. But I think that when a team wins games like that, it shows who the better team is. So I think that's kind of what we saw in that second game towards the end.
All right, fair enough. I had a question about the Zeus. What made that a good Zeus game?
Zeus is getting picked a lot. Vici crushed us with Zeus this morning, and we won a game yesterday with Zeus, I think, as well. And he got some buffs in the last patch, so we were... you know, maybe it wasn't the best pick, but the hero's pretty fun, and he's pretty good right now. So, yeah. All right.
I've also got a question about that first game of the series, because Ace actually set some records with his Sven. He was like the fastest with Midas Threads minute 5 or something like that, 2 minutes before the previous record. What allowed him to have that game? Like, how did you set him up for success?
Yeah. So it's when people pick Darkseer, they kind of. A lot of times the Darkseers kind of commit to just cutting the creep waves and giving the carries free farm underneath the tower. Last patch we saw Doom was like the big hero that people would pick that would just go farm the safe lane with Devour and get a Midas and get really stacked. And I think that Doom got nerfed quite a bit, and now Sven is kind of the rising star. Also, like in that specific game, they picked Darkseer on 15. Or I'm sorry. They picked Darkseer. Sorry, that's how we describe it. But they picked Darkseer with their third pick, and we only had picked 2 heroes. So we kind of expected them to go Sven. And Darkseer Sven is like one of the scariest combos in the game right now. So we just kind of stole the Sven as like a little bit of a counter pick, but also like pretty good for us too.
It worked out real well. It was a crushing game for sure. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I'm going to let you get back to your team and enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Back to you, Paul.
Thanks very much, PPD there. Just a little translation issue in the 15, because he includes picks and bans.
Yeah. I thought he was talking about his teeth. They do the same thing. They like pick, they start on 1 and they just count, and then they roll down, and it's, yeah. It's the smarter way to do it for sure, because I was thinking like, oh, you have to say like, well, in, you know, second phase ban round 1, it's probably way harder than just saying like 12 or something.
Probably. Do you think we should start adopting that?
No. So you want to educate the average person on these numbers? Come on. Come on.
But it's interesting what he was saying as well, in the way that they picked things that they thought were strong, that they thought were strong coming into the patch, and they've just carried on picking them, and that suits their team in many ways.
Yeah, and they, like you said, they semi-counterpicked that, thinking that maybe they were going to try to go Sven Darkseer as well, so they took it away from them that way. They'd take that benefit away from them, while also happy with what it gives. Yeah, that's good.
Good performance all round, really, and including the drafting. You okay with PPG's drafting as well?
Yeah, although it was pretty insightful that he said he felt like they were outdrafted in game number 2. And he was like, well, we ended up winning, which he thinks shows who the better team is. And it goes to show you, like, necessarily the better draft doesn't always win you the game. You do have to, at the end of the day, execute.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, gents. A break for us here in Birmingham. We hope you're enjoying the coverage so far of ESL One Birmingham. We're halfway through day number 2. Our attention switches to Group B. Let's come out after the break.